Hello and welcome to Cybercast, an Ohio cyber range at the University of Cincinnati update. Today we're going to give you an update on the progress we've made on several of the 9 outcomes of our agreement. As you'll recall, those 9 outcomes include the hiring of staff, the purchase and installation of the sandbox infrastructure, the development of cyber exercises, industry extensions, best practice approaches, hands-on learning labs, workforce development for K-12, workforce development for higher ed, workforce development for professionals, and the dissemination of information. As most know, the purchase and installation of equipment took place at the start of 2018, as did the hiring of the OCR staff. On May 29th, we had the ribbon cutting of the Ohio Cyber Range with Sean Tursky as our keynote speaker. This fall, we're starting work with industry partners related to the use of the Cyber Range as part of our industry extension. And we awarded just recently several grants to various professors to research best practices for the use of the Cyber Range, which will be revealed in June 2019. Now, today we're going to look at some of the more recent progress that we've made since June 2018, which includes 3 very important outcomes: cyber exercises, hands-on learning, and K-12 workforce development. In July 2018, in partnership with the NSA, we provided 2 Gen Cyber summer camps at 2 independent locations, which included the University of Cincinnati and Columbus State. And the programs included 3 weeks of cybersecurity instruction to high school teachers and students. There were a total of 26 teachers and 56 students that participated in the program. And as part of the development, we created 15 lesson plans that were created and distributed to high school teachers. And you can see some of these lesson plans right here on the screen. In each case, the content aligned with the first principles of cybersecurity, which include minimization, simplicity, abstraction, information hiding, least privilege, modularity, process isolation, domain separation, layering, and resource encapsulation. The exercises included the creation of what we called a portable hacking machine that all attendees were able to take home. The hacking machine consisted of the following: a Raspberry Pi 3 B+, a 7-inch touchscreen display, a case, a battery pack, a 32 gig micro SD card, and a wireless keyboard mouse combo. Now, for some students, this device is the only digital device that they might actually have in their home. The camp also provided a demonstration on drone hacking, while also including exercises on the important Linux commands, online safety, along with a final test, which was in the form of Capture the Flag. We also provided exercises on building community, team building, and overcoming the fear of failure through improv classes. Then on July 13th at UC, and then on July 20th at Columbus State, we provided Capture the Flag exercises and competitions. These events consisted of 28 student teams consisting of 2 students each, and then 10 teacher teams consisting of 2 teachers each. The exercises included warm-up activities while also allowing each to use the OCR at the University of Cincinnati sandbox. These are some examples of the testing given to each student. What are the most current encryption methods based on? You're running 2 or more programs on a computer. One program crashes, but the other 2 continue to run. The ability for the program to continue to run is a result of what principle? And any policy, technology, or education used to deter, deny, disrupt, degrade, deceive, or contain the compromise of information at any of the following levels is called what? So as you can see, these are not just superficial questions. Now, for the University of Cincinnati's program, we named the architecture being used for the students as Bearcat Village, and it consisted of 70 virtual computers. 30 were using Kali Linux, and 40 were using Windows 10. Each Kali VM had 4 virtual CPUs, 32 gig of memory, and 64 gig of storage. The Windows VMs each had 2 virtual CPUs, 4 gig of memory, and 32 gig of storage. In total, the system provided 70 VMs, 200 virtual CPUs, 1,120 gig of memory, and 3.2 terabytes of storage. Now, the Columbus State environment included 50 virtual computers, of which 25 were Kali Linux, each having 4 virtual CPUs, 32 gig of memory, and 64 gig of storage. It also included 25 virtual Windows 10 units with 2 virtual CPUs, 4 gig of memory, and 32 gig of storage. In total, the system provided 50 virtual machines, 150 CPUs, 900 gig of memory, and 2.4 terabytes of storage. Now, the request and support process at UC included the following. The lead instructor was given administrative access to a virtual data center that was allocated appropriately. We then created Bearcat Village, which consisted of 7 virtual machines per team that are connected via private network with a firewall. Now, the networks represented servers for Cincinnati Public Works, Cincinnati Public Schools, and the Cincinnati Library. An integral part of this also included the creation of a scorecard for Bearcat Village and the creation of custom team accounts. We also provided an overview of the OCR at UC along with its objectives. Then we ran the Capture the Flag exercises with the students for 3 hours. Now, the request and support process at Columbus State actually started back in May of 2018 when we demoed Capture the Flag. Jason Cheney then traveled to Columbus on July 13th to verify access to the OCR in somewhat of a dry run. UC then created the Capture the Flag based on the Columbus State Gen Cyber curriculum and request. Now, initially, Windows was the original focus, but after 3 days of the camp, they added Linux. So we added 35 custom user IDs to allow access from Columbus State to the UC sandbox. And we created 35 custom virtual apps and assigned a user to each. Now, as with the Bearcat Village the week before, we created a Capture the Flag scorecard for both the physical and virtual Capture the Flag. We also provided a 1-hour WebEx meeting with instructors to train them on the proper use of the OCR. To assist Columbus State, we traveled to Columbus on July 20th for the event, and as in Cincinnati, we gave the students an overview of the Ohio Cyber Range and its objectives. And much like Cincinnati, the Columbus State CTF lasted for a total of 3 hours. Now, a key to the success of the Cyber Range at UC is the performance and economies of scale that such a system can provide. This, of course, includes both the students' performance and the system performance. Some insights into the event suggest that the average points scored by students attending the University of Cincinnati's Capture the Flag was 143 points out of a possible 166. Pretty good. The Columbus State average was 78.4 out of a possible 130 points. Not too bad. So system utilization was excellent. The Cincinnati Capture the Flag utilized 6.6 CPUs out of a possible 430, which equates to about 1.5% of total capacity. And the memory used was 120 gig out of 4,500 gig, which equaled only 2.6% of capacity. Now, the Columbus State CTF was similar. There was a total of 155.5 gig of memory used out of a total of 4,500 gig available, and this equaled only 3.5% of capacity. So thus far, we feel that the OCR at UC has significant capacity, and the distance between Columbus and University of Cincinnati had no impact at all on the performance. Now, over the fall of 2018, the OCR at UC will provide more information about our case studies with industry partners and an update on our best practice research, which is due in the spring of 2019. You'll also find a PowerPoint of our progress each quarter on our website under the Cyber Range tabs/outcomes. Now, thanks for your interest in the progress of the Ohio Cyber Range at the University of Cincinnati, and we'll provide more updates over the ensuing months right here on Cybercast.